event started with Maria Elena Pierupiena, our deputy counsel, last year going to Washington, and she was absolutely impressed by the quality of the material that Judge Messite provided for a group of people from consulates in the capital of the United States. And she would like to have it done here because you know very well that we have a large community here. It's our privilege to have here, and Chief Justice is always with us. His part, we are part of his nationality because he comes from the Portuguese accent, and we are here to thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm pretty convinced that lots of people are still arriving because today is not a very nice day, let us put it that way. And we shall start now, and later on we shall have benefits. Judge Messite, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'll sit here just.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for letting us into your home. This is a new headquarters, as I understand it. You were here only about a year. The Brazilian style in opening any kind of event, which I'm quite familiar with, is to recognize everybody here who is anybody. And you go through a long list of names and you say, there are two people I want to recognize in particular. First, my old friend, Chief Justice Philip Raposa of the Massachusetts Appeals Court. You will hear from him later this morning. And then our conterráneo from Rio de Janeiro, Eduardo Guzman, who is a judge on the Tribunal de Justiça of Rio, which is the appeals court, essentially the state appeals court for that important state. So we welcome you and everyone else who is here through you. The best way I like it in Brazil, when there's a long list of names to give, you'll say, I recognize Justice Raposa and Desembargador Guzman, in whose names I welcome everyone else. And that is what I do this morning. Let me tell you a little bit about how this program came about, to pick up on the ambassador's words. I am, in addition to being a federal district court judge, I am an adjunct professor of comparative law, and Brazil happens to be my area of expertise. And I have given courses in Brazil-U.S. legal and judicial studies, together with Brazilian co-presenters who live in the Washington area, judges, lawyers, and so on, who are visiting. And we give either a long semester course or we've given a week-long course in Brazil-U.S. legal and judicial studies. And we do a lot of programs there. As I return to Washington Thursday, we have 30 Brazilian judges and lawyers coming to our law school at American University, Washington College of Law, to study conciliation mediation, which Desembargador Guzman will tell you is a very hot issue in Brazil right now, conciliation. And we're going to talk about that with some American counterparts. But the ambassador's quite right. I had a course that I gave a year ago, June, and there were at least two people from this consulate general that attended. And they obviously were impressed enough to tell Maria Elena that there was something interesting going on, and she came down and she said, it would be a very nice idea if perhaps we could talk about American law to our consular people. Because our consular people, and this goes not just for Brazil, but for anybody who is from a foreign consulate, deal all the time with American law. And there are issues about what to do if a Brazilian citizen or a citizen from Turkey or wherever has a problem with the law, whether it's criminal law, whether it's contract law, whether it's probate law. There are a whole series of questions that come up. And Maria Elena thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting to come to Boston and do a program where we would invite various speakers to talk about aspects of American law, particularly as it might interest our consular people who have to deal with it. And that is where I was brought in and was happy to cooperate. And one of the first people I called was Chief Justice Raposa, with whom I have a long relationship going back, I think, to Mozambique or Lisbon, I can't even remember anymore, to help me. And we then developed a rather interesting program with some interesting speakers. And you'll see from your program that in addition to having people like Chief Justice Raposa here, we've got the Chief Justice of the Probate and Family Court who will be speaking, Angela Ordonez. We have we have the District Attorney for Suffolk County, Dan Conley, who will be here. We have the Deputy Director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service who will be speaking to us today as well, and a number of other people who are come. Chuck Anderson is in the back here who's going to talk about sentencing. I don't know how many other speakers we have here yet this morning. Some others may yet come. But in any event, you will hear from all these people, and that's the background. So we're delighted to have you, and Jose Roberto, I connected with you, I think, probably 9 months ago and said maybe the Harvard boys would like to come over and meet some of their compatriotas and as well to meet some of the distinguished people in the Massachusetts judiciary, so, and the legal profession. So that basically is my presentation. Maria Elena, welcome. She's really the person responsible for all this. I think she deserves a brief applause.
Wow.